Good evening, everyone. It has to be pasta time. I am Jeanette Martin, brand ambassador for the Caslow Sourdough Pasta Company. And today I'm feeling kind of crazy in a weird and wonderful way. I had it in my mind that I needed to be a little bit more creative. So I have to be forthwith and truthful. I've never made this recipe, but in my head, it is all going to work out. Because when I've made a baked pasta before, not put into a portobello mushroom, it definitely works. So why not make it work this time? This is a vegetarian meal. There is going to have some cottage cheese, some grated Parmesan cheese, a little Romano cheese, and an egg in it. So it is a vegetarian meal. It is suited for one that I'm going to be doing my recipe for one, though that I'm sure if you multiplied this by 4, it would do a family of 4 really well. So tonight I'm going to be using the Caslow. I always say this wrong. I'm going to just say the macaroni, and then there's an Elicoidlie. If somebody knows how to say that word, can they help me out with it? But the macaroni. And I'll tell you why I chose this one is because it's a little tube shape, like a macaroni tube shape. And I'm going to be making a sauce that's kind of liquid, that when it bakes, we're going to kind of make little teeny tiny little, I'm going to say cannolis, baked right into this pasta. So let's get started. Our cast of characters are, let me just pick up my phone and turn it around. Our recipe this evening are 40 grams of the macaroni. I have 1 big portobello. The other night I made something with portobello, so I have some innards of the portobello that I'm going to use. Maybe 3 tablespoons of eggplant, 1/4 of a red pepper. I've got 1 slice of red onion, a little bit of the leek tops, about 1 tablespoon of the carrot, a little piece of carrot I'm going to cut up, a little piece of garlic that I'm only going to take a little bit off of because I'm going to show you the seasoning that I'm going to be using in this recipe. About a good tablespoon of shredded Parmesan cheese, 1 tablespoon of cottage cheese, some breadcrumb. I've got a little cilantro that I'm going to be putting into the mix as well, into my topping. And this is my kind of secret ingredient. Hopefully you guys can see it. Here we go. Mondo seasoning. This is an all blended seasoning that I keep in my pantry. It's got ginger and turmeric and garlic and lots of good seasonings in it that you can see there. Some Himalayan salt, so I'm not going to need to put any salt in this. And I made some up the other night that has the olive oil and vinegar in it. So I'm going to use that in my stuffing. You'll see a little bit of Romano cheese. I'm going to make a quick Caesar salad that I have some leftover dressing to go with this meal. Some pepper. I've got my electric frying pan ready to go. So let's get cooking. How is everyone doing tonight? I see I have 4 people watching. Ooh, get my camera going correctly. Hopefully you can see me and my cutting board. I'll cut them back just a bit. This is all going to be about getting the prep done first because I want my vegetables all to cook about the same time because I'm going to be cutting them all about the same size, nice and tiny to fold into the pasta. I'm going to get my saute pan on, or my electric frying pan on. Let's get it on. I'm going to say about 300. So you have your regular pan on your stove on at about, say, medium. So let's slice up the red pepper. Nice fine dice. This has kind of got a bit of a Mediterranean feel, though. I have some jarred salsa that I'm going to put on the top, and then I'm going to put some breadcrumb on the top. Got a little bowl that I'm going to collect all my vegetables in. Everything's getting about the, I'm going to say the half a size of a half a centimeter. So a half a centimeter cubed. Lots of good vegetables in here. The red pepper has got the vitamin C. Garlic, of course, is really good for our immunity. Just going to take one small little slice. Because my dressing already has garlic, I just want a little bit of fresh garlic. Little trick, remember, blade away from you, palm of your hand, and smack in the garlic. And that basically presses my garlic for me. There you go there. Got the tops of my leeks. Remember a couple of shows ago, I used the leek in a recipe, the bottom part. I never like to throw out anything. I keep the top. So this is the top part of the leek. Going to do a cut that's called in culinary terms a chiffonade, which is a very, very fine cut. That should be enough. About a tablespoon. They're very fine little grates, or slices, I should say. Into my bowl, this is going to go. I have got some red onion, one slice of red onion. I did a burger the other night with the portobello mushroom, so I had a slice of onion, and this was the top of the onion that I kept. You know, my mom and dad always taught me, waste not, want not. Let me know where you come. Nobody ever says who their name is or where they're tuning in from. Give me a thumbs up. We like to know. We've got about 2,500 people that are on our Facebook page. I know I send it over to my personal page to get people to tune in. So again, the red onion is cut in a very fine dice. Before I went on air, I had the piece of eggplant and I sliced it thin going down. Now I'm going to take it and make it into tiny little cubes as well. Nice fine dice. Okay. Excellent. These vegetables are going to cook down when I saute them. Okay, let's take a little bit of that carrot. And a fine cube as well. A matchstick cut or julienne cut first of all on the carrots. And then I'm going to go across on the other way, turning it around. A nice tiny, tiny little dice. These are just vegetables that are in my fridge. And I'm like, what can I do with them? That's something a little different. And let's not make it just a standard baked casserole. Let's bump it up a bit. And who doesn't like a stuffed mushroom? You could add crab to this if you wanted to. It'd be beautiful with some crab. So let's see. Oh, and I've got a little bit of that inside the stem of the portobello. Chopping it up nice and fine as well. Okay. So into my pan, I've got a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to say maybe a teaspoon of olive oil. In go all the different vegetables. Little grate of pepper on top. Let me turn my camera around so you can see my frying pan. Oh my gosh, immediately when that onion and garlic hits the pan, the smell that is coming off it, I often say, wouldn't it be great if you could make an air freshener that was bacon, onion, and garlic? They say that putting cinnamon on boiled cinnamon when you're selling your house is good. I think if you made bacon, onion, and garlic, people would feel a lot more at home. But there's no bacon in this. Okay, just turning my heat up a little bit more. I want to saute that around. I want to get it quite soft. Heather, hey, just logged on. Hi, Heather. Where are you? You can just put your city or state or where in the world are you? Love to know where you are. So while I'm watching my pan, I'll just show you my portobello, the size of my hand. So it's about the palm of my hand. To clean a portobello, you want to take your spoon, go around, pop out the core, and then you'll see inside these are little gills. I like when I'm stuffing a portobello to remove those gills. I won't throw it out because they're really good if you're going to make a mushroom soup or a spaghetti sauce. There's still a lot of flavor in those. I want to make the hole inside my portobello as big as possible because I'm going to be putting this stuff, the pasta, inside. Chilliwack. Oh, I know Chilliwack. That's a beautiful part of the country. I'm in South Langley and it's the sunshine. Today I have a lighter sweater on. Okay, so you can kind of see inside, I've got my portobello ready for stuffing. This leftover portobello, I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'll make you guys a mushroom. A mushroom sauce to go on pasta one of these days. Okay. Getting a little tiny bit of color on this. I'm going to turn it down. Oh, got one piece of carrot I didn't cut very well. Okay. I'll leave that to it. Bring you back over here. Okay, so this is my my little casserole for one. Always just a little drizzle of olive oil in the bottle, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. The reason is that I don't want anything to stick in it. It just makes the mushroom popping out a little bit easier. Kind of put my mushroom in, and there my pan is prepped. Now for the magic of the inside. Okay, so I've got a tablespoon of cottage cheese. You can kind of think, if you're making a quick lasagna, you tend to put cottage cheese in the middle, mixed up with a little bit of your grated cheese. It's kind of the same thing. So there, half of that grated Parmesan cheese is going to go in. Okay. The dressing that I made earlier this week for another recipe, my Mondo seasoning, I made a half of the recipe. Says for like a pound of chicken or vegetables, 2 tablespoons of seasoning, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of cider vinegar. I used 1 tablespoon of seasoning, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. And I used half of that recipe. So this is the remainder. So this is probably, well, let's take a look, maybe a tablespoon or 2 of that dressing. In there. Want to get it all. This smells delicious. Oh my gosh, so delicious. Okay, gonna put an egg in. The egg will help bind it all together. So this is kind of, like I said, if I was making a baked lasagna, I always mix an egg in with my cottage cheese and my Romano cheese to go on that layer that kind of bakes like a bit of a white sauce in the middle. So that's basically what we're doing here. And you'll see it looks a little liquidy, and that's what we want. Just going to get my whip. We want it to be, like I said, not thick, but that kind of consistency, because remember, I want all the little noodles to suck it up while it's being baked. So in goes my 40 grams of pasta that I've pre-cooked, and I did take it to 8 minutes because I did want it a little softer. Oh, it's already sucking up all the little juice in there. Okay, let's get my vegetables in here. And one little trick that you saw, that my pasta was really cold, my cottage cheese was cold, my egg was cold. So this is really cold, and I'm going to put hot vegetables in it. It's going to be okay because immediately I'm going to be baking this into the oven. Okay. We don't want to, and it's not going to curdle, the egg because we've cooled it down, or I should say warmed it up a bit because my pasta was room temperature, but everything is of the same temperature. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm getting my vegetables. Okay. So the vegetables are in, and I was making a noise with my fridge there. Okay. Stirring that around quickly. And I can already see, maybe I'll give you guys a little bit of a zoom cam here. Can you see how the pasta is starting to fill up with that, that sauce? There we go. That sauce, that's exactly what we want. Oops. You're sliding. Okay, so let's grab our portobello mushroom and let's fill it up. And it's going to be overstuffed. You're going to fill it up. You're going to pack it really tight. Get all that good vegetables in there. Can you imagine the plate presentation if you put about 4 of these into a dish? And then baked it? Okay. So you see there, now I'm going to put my topping on it. We've got a little bit of the pasta around the outside, not much. The majority of it is inside my portobello. So let's make our crumb topping. Clean my spoon. So about a teaspoon of my breadcrumb. The rest of the cheese, the other tablespoon or half a tablespoon. Mix that around. Take a pinch of my cilantro. Holding it together nice and tight. Just add that bit of fresh on top. Into my topping. Okay. That'll make a nice crusty top. And then just to make sure there's enough liquid in this, I'm going to I just have some jarred jalapeno or chipotle salsa. A good tablespoon, well, that's a teaspoon, teaspoons on top. That will warm up and melt down into the pasta. Put our crumb topping on top. And I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees, knowing that the pasta's cooked, all the vegetables are basically cooked, but I need to make sure that egg cooks and everything gets very well solidified with that egg baking. Almost making a bit of a custard, I guess. And I want that portobello mushroom to kind of cook and kind of get, it'll cook down and get softer. So this will probably take it at 325, 350 in my convection oven for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to watch it. I'll see how tall it is now. It'll probably kind of sink down to about half of that size. So it'll almost be level with the top. I'll make sure my topping's not browning too much, and into the oven it'll go. I'll show you a picture later when it comes out. And now I just want to make a quick Caesar salad. I have my lettuce. This is just a small heart of my hearts of romaine. And I like to also do a little bit of freshness of the cilantro because this is going to be on the side of my dish. So why not marry some of the flavors that are in my dish into my salad? And cilantro stems, you can eat them. They're really good and they add like a nice little brightness when you chomp into them in your salad. Okay, kind of blend those in. Finely chopped. I didn't get a bowl. 1 second. Real life cooking. This is just a quick little Caesar salad because I already have all my ingredients done. If you want the Caesar salad dressing, I made this from scratch. Just drop a message into the comments and I will make sure you get the recipe. But it's very garlicky, lots of Dijon mustard, olive oil, hot sauce, egg, black pepper, about a teaspoon. Not a lot. I'm not one that likes a lot of dressing on my my salad. Give it a little bit of a toss. And also, if you had croutons at home, you could use croutons or bacon bits. I don't happen to have that right now. And a little Parmesan cheese. You know what? I might eat this salad while I'm waiting for my my stuffed mushroom. So there's a quick Caesar salad that I made with my dressing that I always make a big bunch. Keeps in the fridge for about a week. And it's also a great base that if you're going to make a quick pasta salad, maybe I'll make a Greek salad or a Caesar salad tomorrow. Or some sort of salad tomorrow with that ingredients. So again, I hope you make this recipe. Like I said, it was something creative coming out of my head. Going, you know what? If all these ingredients can make just in a regular casserole, I wonder what it would be like in a portobello mushrooms. And mushrooms are so good for us. So from my home to your home, Jeanette Martin, brand ambassador for the Kaslow Sourdough Pasta Company, I wish you God bless. From the Kaslow Sourdough family, the macaroni, we wish you to be safe, be healthful, and stay at home with your family and friends and create lots of different recipes as well as amazing memories. If you have any questions regarding this recipe, please drop them into the comments. Forward this video on to any family or friend who'd love to see it. Invite your friends. Every Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, I go, it has to be pasta time with Kaslow. Invite your friends to join in. Thank you so much for Heather for saying your name. And I wish you an amazing evening. Bon appetito, and wait for the photo. This is the before, and I'll be posting what the picture looks like after. Enjoy, everybody.